But at times, ignorance is a bliss in the short term, but in the long term, it can be troublesome. Good morning, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. In school, we all have selected the third language, and for me, this golden opportunity came when I was promoted to class 6. So, by doing my SWOT analysis, I came to a conclusion that Bengali should be my ideal choice because I belong to Calcutta, my mom is a champion in Bengali, and I'm pretty smart in learning this subject. I was correct considering the first 2 points of my analysis, but I went horribly wrong in the final point. It is known that a mistake in an analysis is committed when someone misses an important data point, and in my case, I miscalculated my overconfidence as confidence. In class 5, when I came across this subject for the first time and had a glance at it, I totally lost interest in it, and I chose to ignore it by passing most of my homework and classwork to a friend. And this ignorance strategy not only helped me to hide my inability to learn this subject, but also helped me to dig a pit for the near future. After I was promoted to class 6, I enjoyed first few months of my senior year. But as it is known that every smooth journey has a speed breaker in it, I also had my first speed breaker during my Bengali exam. On the eve of my Bengali exam, as soon as the examiner said, "You all can start," I picked up my question paper and tried to read it. Though I had prepared my Bengali alphabet by comparing it with Hindi alphabet, but when I combined everything in the exam, a gibberish language came out of it, and it made it difficult for me. I looked around, I saw few familiar faces staring at me with a sign of grief in their eyes. These faces belonged to my batchmates who bunked Bengali classes along with me. I turned around and saw the examiner was staring right at me, as if I was convinced I had committed some kind of mistake or a crime. Hence, I went back to my question paper immediately. After spending 15 minutes of trying to read the question paper, I finally saw light in the dark when I managed to convert one gibberish language question to Bengali language. But that light soon turned dark when I realized I don't know the answer for that particular question, and the evaluator won't give me marks for showcasing my ability to read the question paper. So, nevertheless, I started scribbling few sentences in my answer script, and after a few moments, I heard a voice calling out, "Sir, extra sheet." And this was the point when a Spartan took over the saint inside me. I looked at that person who made that voice, and but I controlled my Spartan instinct and went back to my question paper and continued with my scribble and finally submitted my answer script. The D-Day arrived and my class teacher called me and handed over my answer script to me. The faces that stared at me during the exams came to me with a sign of hope, and sadly I did not dishearten them as I got a score of 8 out of 50 in the first term. I maintained the consistency in the scoring pattern. I scored a 16, not out of 50 but out of 100 in the half-yearly exam. Though I was ahead of one of my friend who scored a 0. And he was the one who used to bunk classes along with me. And working extremely hard for my second unit test, I managed a score of 17 out of 50. In my final term, I needed a score of 60 in order to get promoted to class 7. And I really worked hard to achieve that score. But sadly, I managed a score of 58. I was pretty sad as I thought I lost one entire year of my school and had to repeat class 6. My mom received a call from school for a meeting, and I was pretty aware of the ritual that goes inside that meeting room. I went ahead to the meeting with a mind which already had the conclusion of the entire story. But I went in a state of shock when my professor told me, "Kunal, you are promoted but with a warning." Since my teachers and professor were pretty pleased with the effort which I showcased in my final term, hence they promoted me. I dragged on with the subject for 2 more years till the nightmare finally ended in class 8. And I felt free. I thought I won't have a face-off with this subject ever. But like every story never has a happy ending, same goes for me. Never has a happy ending and same goes for me. When I joined my car accessories business and gained sufficient business knowledge in that field, I was pretty confident interacting with first customers. But I went in a state of blank when my very first customer asked me, "Dada, apnar kache speaker hobe?" Which means, that do you have these sets of speakers? And I found myself in the same examination hall where I was being tested on a subject which I was not able to read, not able to understand, not able to write. Sadly, one of my father's staff came to me, came for my rescue. It all came down to one thing: ignorance is bliss. And in my case, I chose to ignore a subject which converted my ability to fear, a fear that I generally face every day in my business and in my day-to-day interactions. Yes, ignoring something unpleasant is a bliss, but ignoring something that helps you learn something new is not a bliss. Thank you.